Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chrissy and this is Barefoot in the Garden. If you guys haven't went over to my TikTok channel, I encourage you guys to go check it out. I do a lot of fun stuff on there, everyday stuff, polls and tips. So if you guys want to see a little bit more of me, go ahead and follow me on Barefoot in the Garden on TikTok. I've been dying to start seeds. Oh, you guys like my tree? My daughter was face painting this morning and I told her I wanted a tree, so here's my tree. I've been dying to start seeds. But of course it's too early. I did start some dill and then I have some cuttings that I put in some pots, but other than that I really can't start anything yet. I do need to go online and pick up some heating mats because I want to start my peppers indoors again this year, but last year they were kind of stunted because it was really cold in my dining room where I start them. So I'm gonna pick up some heating mats off of Amazon. I think these are the ones that I'm gonna purchase. They're kind of cheap, so if they don't end up working out, it's not that much money that I'm gonna have lost on that investment. But since I can't wait to start anything and I'm just so eager, I still have to buy soil and do a lot of stuff to the garden, so I'm not really worrying about that right now. I'm gonna start some microgreen seeds. I've never played around with microgreens before, but I have some seeds. Let me grab them. I have a couple seeds from M.I. Gardener. I got these the first year that I started gardening. I've never used them, so I'm gonna use them now. It's been raining so much. Everything is filled with water. I'm gonna let some of this water out. I'm gonna put you guys down. And I wanna show you this deal that I got. I know you guys know who Bootstrap Farmer is. They're a great company that sells a lot of expensive and nice seed starting supplies. They sell a lot of gardening supplies on their website as well. But I found a local nursery. It's called Plants and Things. It's in Brenham, Texas. And they offer a lot of starts, shrubs, all kinds of things, cuttings, all kinds of stuff in that store. But when I went inside just to check out her indoor shop, I saw these, and the colors is what caught my eye automatically, right? They're really pretty rainbow colors. So Bootstrap Farmer makes some containers that are this size, and that's what I thought they were. But then when I picked it up and I look at the bottom, the brand is Sunrack. And they look very similar to Bootstrap Farmer's containers. They have the same type of drainage holes, I think, that Bootstrap Farmer has on their containers. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me in the comments. But they look the same. I thought they were the same. They're good quality. They're thick. They're not that really cheap, flimsy material. I don't have any of the ones to compare it to, but it's good quality. So she had a sign on these pots for 25 cents each. So I was like, 25 cents? Okay, I can do that. And then right next to these, she had these bottom watering trays, and these were only $3.95 each. So if you go on the Bootstrap Farmer website, I'll try to put an image of it here. You will see how much more theirs are. And to me, this is such a good deal. I don't know if these were hers and she decided to sell them, or if somebody else in her family just wanted to get rid of them, and that's why she had so many of them and she was selling them for 25 cents each. Either way, it was a win. I got 2 of these trays and I got 64 of these containers for like under $25. I don't even think that's enough to buy one bottom watering tray and 1 flat of these trays with Bootstrap Farmer. I could be wrong. I'm gonna look it up and try to put it here. So just to clarify, on the Bootstrap Farmer website, the Whispering Willow Farm collection, that's the one with the more pastel pretty colors, they go for 80 pots for $31.99. So you would get more pots, but you wouldn't get the bottom watering trays. You'd have to go and purchase those on top of the $31.99. So it does end up being cheaper for the 2 trays of the ones from the nursery than buying them online. Not by that much, maybe $20, $25 difference, but to me, it's worth buying them at the cheaper price. But it's a great deal. So these are going to be for some of my seeds that need more room to grow. I'm not going to be using these today. I'm going to actually move these off to the side, and I'm just going to be using the bottom trays for the microgreen. I posted a video on my TikTok about wearing press-on nails. I thought I was doing something last night by putting these on. Y'all, go over to my TikTok channel and watch the video that I posted. It's about the press-on nails. You'll see it. Then come back over here and tell me what you guys think about that. This is not for me. I tried it, but these nails, they don't get me far out here on the homestead, so we won't be doing this again. I'm waiting for them to come off. I might soak them off later in some soap or something just to get them off, because they cripple me. I don't know how people have nails like this and have gardens and animals. It doesn't work for me. All right, so here are the trays. I'm just gonna use one of them right now, and I'm gonna fill it up with coco coir. This is what I have. I don't have potting mix, so this is what I'm gonna use. So the thing about microgreens is that you harvest them pretty early, so they don't need to be in super rich soil, because you're gonna harvest them like in 8 or 9 days. All the nutrients is gonna be in that seedling. I'm draining the water out of the bucket. All the nutrients is gonna be in that seedling. They're not gonna need a lot to leach off of. So coco coir will be just fine. All right. So I'm gonna use my pretty little press-on nails to scoop some of this coco coir out of here. And you don't need too thick of a layer. Thin layer should be just fine. They just really need to sprout. They're not going to be doing much else. You're going to harvest them so early that they just need a little bit of medium to sprout, and then they're good to go. Probably about 3 inches worth. That looks good to me. And I am not a professional microgreen grower. This is my first time. But some things you could just use your common sense, you know. I'm actually really proud of myself that I'm not jumping in and starting a whole bunch of seeds that I'm going to regret in a couple months, because that's normally me. All right, so we have 3 options. We have the cabbage microgreens, we have radish microgreens, and we have mustard microgreens. I'm thinking that I'm gonna go with the cabbage today. I feel like the mustard and the radish will have a little bit of spice to it, so I'm gonna go with the cabbage greens. This is what the tray looks like right now. Packed it in there, and that might even be too much medium. If anybody grows microgreens, drop down in the comment section if you think that like 3 inches worth of coco coir is too much. Maybe I didn't need to use all of that. Y'all let me know. All right, so the direction says fill a shallow tray without holes with 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of loose potting mix. Well, just corrected myself. Should have read the package first. I think I'm gonna take some of this out. I don't want to waste any, you know? If I don't need that much, then I'm not gonna use that much. I never read the seed packs. Like, I'm terrible with that. I'm just like so quick to rip open the seed packet and plant that I skip vital information. All right, so it says sprinkle seeds over the surface and mist until thoroughly dampened. Water as needed until microgreens are 2 inches in height and are just starting to form its first set of adult leaves. Then they are ready to harvest. It says you can use this for wraps, salads, sandwiches, and garnishes. The flavor profile of this cabbage is like a rich broccoli and cabbage flavor. It has nutrients of vitamin K, C, E, iron, and beta carotene. Days to harvest 8 to 14. So you can either harvest at a week or 2 weeks. I guess it's up to you. And I got these seeds. I don't know if I mentioned, I got these seeds from M.I. Gardner in 2020. So I don't know if he still offers these. I'm sure he still offers microgreens, but I don't know if he still offers this exact one. So I hope that this sprinkle seeds over the surface and mist until thoroughly dampened. It didn't say how thick to sow them. But I know that microgreens are sown really thick. So we'll see how far this pack gets me. It's a lot of seeds in here. I wish I could give you guys a better view. Let me try to pick up the camera so I can show you guys how I'm sprinkling them in here. All right, so that's what it's looking like. Day 1, cabbage microgreens. But you know what? While I'm at it, I think I'm gonna start the other tray. Since I have another one and I'm here now, might as well start another tray. So I think this time I'm going to go with the mustard microgreens. Now, let's read the back of this one. Same directions, fill a shallow tray with 1/2 inch to 3/4 of loose potting mix. So you don't even have to use coco coir. You can use potting mix, a loose potting mix, which will most likely have peat moss in it. Sprinkle seeds over the surface, same directions, water as needed. This one's flavor profile is bold mustard flavor, slight spice. See, I knew that these two would be spicy. The radish is peppery. Doesn't say spicy, but peppery and spicy, kind of like the same flavor profile for me. I'm still gonna go with the mustard because I feel like with the cabbage and the mustard mixed together, that would be like a nice little salad mix. All right, so we got one tray done now. And this is the brand of these trays. Tell me if you guys know where they sell this brand. Because if she's able to sell them for how much? $3.96. That means that she's getting them also cheaper. So I'd be super interested in buying some myself. I just couldn't find a website that sells that Sunrack brand online. Alright, so don't need as much as last time. Are y'all having a hard time finding coconut coir? I used to be able to go to Martha's Bloomers in Navasota, which is probably like 30, maybe 20, 30 miles from my house, which is close. Since that we live in the middle of nowhere, that's close for us. So I used to be able to drive there and get 10 pounds of coconut coir for really cheap. But they haven't had any in stock for a long time, so I don't want to have to outsource on the internet. I like to find my supplies local so that whenever I need it, I have a place to go and get it. But since she hasn't had any, I don't know where else to buy anything. And it's so expensive when you buy online because of how much it weighs to ship. Alright, we got the medium in there. Now we're gonna just follow the same step. I'm gonna use the whole pack in this tray. Do want to mention that the coconut coir was already pre-moistened, so when I was sprinkling the seeds in there, they're not just flopping around, and then when you water it in, the seeds get displaced. If you wet your soil or your medium before you add the seeds will stay in place. So I have the cabbage greens in this one and the mustard microgreens in this one. I definitely need to label these before I get them mixed up. I'm sure I'll be able to tell the difference in them once they start sprouting. Keep you guys updated on these up until harvest day. I think I'm not gonna wait the whole 14 days. They're gonna be way too long and big for that. So I'll probably harvest them in about 8 or 9 days, just depending on the size of them at that point. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today, guys. As always, keep loving life, keep growing your own food, and grand rising to all.